Flip it. Flip it around. There they are. Jesus Christ, they're good looking.
I don't know whether to look at you or at you, but then when I look at that one though, my eyes line always kind of goes to my left side.
Be honest with me,
Yeah.
because I've wondered this about myself for a long time. We do a lot of TV. We do a lot of internet stuff. We film a lot of things. Am I handsomer on camera or in real life?
Okay, so what's really gonna break your heart is that you look great when your face is mirror imaged.
Okay.
You know how that's like
Right.
Often a problem.
Left side is on the
But
right. Yeah.
looking at you here,
Yeah.
it's lizardly.
Oh, Saurian.
Saurian, yeah, Saurian, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, that doesn't break my heart. Why would that break my heart? I love lizards. Lizards are very handsome animals. That's a weird bias for you to have
Yeah.
just revealed.
Hey,
You think lizards are what? Ugly, weird looking? What is it? Just say it. Just say it.
they're not comely.
Are they not?
I've never gazed into the eye of a lizard and felt. Okay, I guess I'm saying it.
Yeah,
I'm remembering stories
I was
that
about
you
to
witnessed,
catch
yes.
you. I was about
So-
to catch you.
But those guys had personality that you're missing.
You're saying I'm missing personality. I'm basically Mr. Personality.
Well, it's because of how the physical is lacking.
That's
It's
not
all.
why.
It's all relative.
That's
When they say you're Mr. Personality, it means you're a walking wreck.
You're a lizard-like biped.
And look,
No offense to bipedal lizards.
yeah,
No offense.
my dad would often stroll from a restroom and announce, "I just said goodbye to Mr. Personality."
Is this your mom's pregnancy story? Hey guys, we're in the studio. We're in the studio. We are here in the middle of this pandemic with all of you, but we happen to be pretty fortunate in that we're locked basically into a studio anyway. We were going to be spending the next month and perhaps even more in this windowless studio.
Our general lifestyle is one of social distancing.
It hasn't changed much. It hurts a lot less when you know everyone else is doing it as well. And so we thank you all for for joining us in this incredibly isolated existence. We realized, we were just talking about this, that we actually have a lot to offer to everybody out there who's, locked at home or, otherwise sort of cut off from their regular existences. You're living a very similar life to our normal life. When we're not on tour or in the studio like this, we basically sit at home in our apartments, order food delivery maybe.
Desperately trying to entertain ourselves.
You wake up in the morning and immediately you feel a cold sweat and you're like, how am I going to fill this day? And we've actually gotten pretty damn good at it. So we wanted to share some of our entertainment recommendations. Some of it will be specific programs you might check out on one or another streaming service. But we've also got, some other kind of tricks up our sleeve.
Yeah,
and we didn't really plan it, so it's gonna, it might be loosey goosey, unlike this intro, which we rehearsed extensively. And I might say we pulled it off. It's okay that Broadway is not.
Yeah, sorry if you could tell that we were going off a teleprompter on this one. Our eyes
we don't normally
scanning robotically. But.
So I want to jump in with a program that Keith introduced me to just maybe a week ago.
I'm a long-time fan of this one. I kind of got there. I was in on the ground floor.
Okay.
This one. And unfortunately, I was too late to actually get any production points.
Right. Yeah, because this is a 2018, 17, did we find out?
Nobody knows. No, frankly, nobody knows.
I think the date is listed on Netflix.
Do some research.
Yeah, do a little research. We've got a computer over here. It's normally used for recording, but for now, this is more important. I think it's called...
What is it called?
So it's the Curious... We believe it's the Curious Creations of Christine McConnell. Has anybody out there seen this show? The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell? We're gonna...
Oh, yeah. Oh, my... Okay.
Oh.
Those are the...
You better drink it, or it's gonna disappear on you.
Let's,
Oh.
What are the legalities
What are...
of
Legally,
showing
can we
clips?
show some?
Well,
I think we
can.
Let's do it.
Should we?
Hey.
Should our live stream just be us showing
stuff?
people
Screening things? Can we screen things?
Christine McConnell, mainly.
Yeah. We're going to screen some of this Netflix episode. If you don't subscribe to Netflix at home, please shield your monitor right now.
Sheath it!
You're not legally allowed to watch this. Okay, so here I'm gonna switch the camera.
On the top of a dark and distant mountain, there is a beautiful and talented woman who uses her unique skills of baking, sculpting, and sewing to create delicious confections and hauntingly disturbing decor. She finds beauty in the art of darkness with each creation and shares them with us, the unusual creatures she has taken into her home. Join us in her delightfully
So what is it
dark
called?
world.
It's called
Welcome
Curious
to the
Creations
Creation
of Christine
of
McConnell,
Christine.
obviously, dumbass. All right. Look, let's not give away too much.
Yeah, that's
Suffice it to say,
That's true.
this show is a revelation.
We've been having a lot of fun watching this show. It's really weird. It's sort of putatively a cooking show, and it's incredibly...
I consider it an arts and crafts show.
Arts and crafts, yeah.
But weirdly, she insists on her crafts being edible.
But isn't an arts and crafts show where the arts and crafts are edible just a cooking show?
No, I mean she's far more concerned with decoration than with flavor. It seems.
That does seem to be the case.
Oh,
So fair warning to those of you at home who are, unduly biased toward flavor. And
we actually did read a excoriating review that complained that
The recipes.
she didn't go ahead and teach them
Yeah.
how to make, the eyeball house.
Yeah, so that's another caveat. If you're going into this show hoping for, a primer on recipes you can actually create at home during this isolation period in your life, some of these might not work, but the show makes up for it with incredibly lively characters. Very,
Deeply sketched.
I would say that the art direction is second to none. It's gothic, if that's your thing. I think you should.
But
definitely go into it.
whimsical.
Exactly. It's not as heavy as that implies. Not like a Castlevania for those who watched the Castlevania cartoon show or played the game.
I didn't know there was.
You don't. So you don't
show.
even know this is a show.
I thought you were just.
He doesn't know about the
I thought you were
Castlevania
just really
cartoon.
concerned with how ominous you'd always found the Castlevania games.
Okay.
Also, if I can back up, is primer really how you pronounce that?
That is how you
wouldn't
pronounce
it primer?
It is. So this is one of those words that it's properly pronounced primer, but you feel like an idiot saying that. which
Or is it
why-
primarily pronounced?
It's
primer?
It's primarily.
It's primly.
primer.
It's primly
primly.
pronounced.
Those primest among us pronounce it. Promer?
Okay,
Wait,
so
I'm
you're
now. I'm just
probably not a reliable resource.
now. I'm swapping vowels. Christine McConnell's creations are curious indeed, but there's nothing curious about your
What-
reaction
about
to
what
the
draw-
show. You're
about
gonna
what-
love it.
About what draws a viewer.
Yeah, wonderful. What else? What else?
We showed a drummer. I won't say what drummer, but a very stoned drummer. This show only yesterday, and he essentially had a meltdown.
He did.
He didn't know where he was, who he was. He didn't know how he was. Mainly, that was actually the largest concern he had.
He forgot, in other words, how people are made. He forgot how he came to be on this planet.
It
Now
devolved
is-
into a pretty gruesome
Yeah.
conversation. A mess, like a prurient and juicy conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that one spiraled. We both got really interested at that point.
We filmed him. We're going to release that tape later in the week.
That's pretty much all I like, Chris.
Have you been? You haven't been watching the Curb Your Enthusiasm
No way.
TV show?
I save Curb Your Enthusiasm so I can binge 6 seasons at once.
You want to watch
That's
it
how
all?
that's how I've watched it thus far.
So you're waiting for several more seasons to be released before you do your second 6-season block.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to watch TV, and I respect it. How did you do Game of Thrones? Was it
Game of
in
Thrones.
chunks like that?
No, Game of Thrones I watched only dailies. I bought tickets. I got a job
Uh-huh.
on set and would only watch.
I remember when you were commuting.
Yeah, I'd watch
that?
the directors scan
Yeah.
several unedited takes. And
So-
I think I got the idea.
Correct me if
It's
I'm
m-
wrong, but you are literally a guy who never saw the dragons.
Wait, with what?
Yeah.
No, you're talking
After
about.
they
I,
insert.
I saw.
Stick puppets,
Yeah,
probably,
I
right?
saw sticks with tennis balls on the end, and they were like, "Look at the dragons." So those, you mean, right? Yeah, I've watched the Masters as well.
You would be shocked at what they inserted using modern special effects into Game
Like
of Thrones.
bigger tennis balls,
My friend, these were scaly.
bigger than like a gala apple. Would you say?
I mean, it depends on the size of your monitor, I guess, but relative to the characters, way bigger than a Gala
Yeah, no, I didn't
apple.
mean how they appear when projected onto
onto your iPhone. Yeah. No, yeah, these would be, school bus sized apples, tennis balls, whatever you think of them as. Anyway, this guy's going to go back and watch Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, unlike the rest of you, he doesn't have time. We're in the studio every day doing important stuff except for this. What else you been watching?
I mean, a lot of Tim Robinson. I think you should leave.
If you haven't watched Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, we're not Netflix shills. Yeah, we just gave a couple of HBO references, although they were somewhat damning. I Think You Should Leave is the best sketch comedy show to air, and I guess I use that relatively, in a long time.
And it seems like we're also desperate Lonely Island shills because
Yes.
it's Lonely Island produced, and they are also our source for yesterday's great recommendation, the Tommy Margarita.
Oh, yeah.
So at this point, we just might be a Lonely Island based live stream.
An offshoot, a franchise. We don't earn any money from it, so franchise is probably the wrong word.
Maybe we get those YouTube dollars off of the Akiva directed videos.
That's true.
So the more we make people interested in Lonely Island, the more,
Yeah.
a couple dozen people watch those early We Are Scientists videos.
That's right. If you
Those
like,
are nickels in our pocket.
yeah, if you like Hot Rod, if you like MacGruber,
Even if you don't. Hey, maybe especially if you don't.
you will love We Are Scientists videos from the With Love and Squalor era.
I have actually been watching a lot of MacGruber recently.
MacGruber is an incredible comfort during times such as these. MacGruber never changes. He's brilliant. He's compassionate. He's capable. How else would you describe Jeremy MacGruber?
Ideal.
He's the ideal.
Purely ideal.
Yeah.
Don't miss Pop Star by Lonely Island as long as we're really pushing it. I think that's probably on streaming pretty hard right
Yeah,
now.
Popstar's streaming. I can't remember what. Does anybody at home know what Popstar is streaming on so that we can tell people? Can somebody send in on the comments where Popstar is streaming? Nobody knows. Suddenly, nobody knows this. We've stumped the fans.
I honestly don't know. Will Connor for real have a Spotify presence, or do we have
That's
to
a
look
great
up
question.
Lonely Island?
That's a great question.
Well, that's the only one way to find
Oh.
out. Connor for real does not seem to.
On Netflix, Mary RFP says, Now TV in the UK. John O'Bins says. Someone else asks, Pupstar? The answer is no.
I've met the
Netflix.
I want
Looks
to
like
spend the rest
Netflix.
of my life.
Hold on, let me shut this Love is Blind asshole
Some
up.
asshole from Love is
Wait,
Blind
and
is
who
talking.
said Pup Star?
Somebody said Pupstar. Let me see.
'Cause
If I
I mean,
can-
I'll watch that as well.
Let me see if I can scroll back. Fabian with an F asks, Pupstar?
So Popstar is not on Netflix.
Popstar's not on Netflix in the U.S.
The rare misstep
Well,
on
in
Netflix.
the United States, we have an international audience. Unlike Netflix, we have people from all over the world tuning in right now. And so, somebody does correct. The name of the movie is Popstar Never Stop Stopping.
Yeah, Never Stopping, I think is what it's called.
Can
So,
anybody?
shut-
Can
don't try to-
anybody?
you.
Someone here, Miss Ashley Jean says it's on Amazon Prime, and I believe that will be in the U.S.
I don't
Miss
believe
Ashley Jean
Tim
says-
Wheeler is logged into. I don't think he's got an account at the studio.
That's
so.
for those of you who don't realize, we are in Ash, the incredible Irish band Ash have a studio in Chelsea, New York City, and we are here for the month recording our next record while they are stuck in the United Kingdom at the sort of midpoint of a now canceled tour. Waiting.
I think the Irish shows are still
Oh, the Irish shows are still a go?
awaiting the act.
Okay. Oh, wait, yeah. So the sort of Damocles hangs over the Irish shows, which are coming up in a week or two. Those guys are in the UK now, sitting on their hands, probably coming up with some pretty
Probably-
great material.
Knowing those guys, probably literally. They're disgusting.
They're big hand sitters, but I will say that they do it to keep themselves from touching their faces, which I think is a valid reason that maybe is rationalization as well. I think they just like feeling their hands down there under their cushions.
No, we got
under their
it.
cushions. Cushions. I said.
Is there anything else we
okay.
can recommend to save the spiraling mind?
Quick and hot, yeah.
Well, anyway, we didn't really get into I Think You Should Leave.
I Think You Should Leave, starring the magnificent Tim Robinson, is just an incredible.
It's a revelation.
It's an absolute revelation. It redefines the importance of skeletons in comedy.
I woke up in London one day at probably like 4 a.m.
It's very casual. You're so
And-
cosmopolitan.
and-
To be, who among you can
and,
say that?
and texted Akiva, who was in L.A. at that point. Who
No
knows
big
what
deal.
time that
Everybody has
was.
friends in L.A.
Only wanting
has
to
friends
talk
in LA.
about bone mamas.
Yeah.
It's
And
much more innocent than it sounds.
If you don't know about bone mamas, yeah, and it's not a sexual thing. If you don't know
I mean-
about bone mamas and how to defeat them and how easily Scrooge is able to defeat a bone mama, you need to tune in to Tim Robinson, and I Think You Should Leave. Apparently a second series is underway. We've been saying this to each other, even as we are desperate to see it. We don't want anybody involved in that project to rush it.
Take
because
your time, get it right. There's a lot riding on this.
Exactly. The first series has that quality of a first novel where it's all these amazing ideas that are being deployed all at once, and I don't want that second series to lack the spark, and I don't think it will. This is an amazing group of people. So what have we covered? I Think You Should Leave. Christine McConnell, The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell.
Whatever it's called.
Obviously, all the Lonely Island oeuvre.
The body of work, yeah.
Popstar, Hot Rod, obviously, we're
MacGruber. It's an offshoot.
How do you recommend MacGruber to someone who's on the internet? If you don't know about MacGruber, you're not watching this.
Yeah.
Somebody send this to someone who can't have seen this, and they should check out MacGruber.
Yeah, print this out somehow and mail it to someone who doesn't know MacGruber.
For those of you who don't, I don't know if we've been clear about this in the past, but MacGruber, for these two guys, for We Are Scientists, maybe the number one comedy.
Yeah.
Filmed comedy. I remember you and I watching a short comedy set by the comedian David Wayne, who's also a great film director. But we saw him.
Is there anything we can recommend by David Wayne at all right now?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
keep thinking.
wait. David Wayne has a show on Netflix that I haven't checked out, but we could all check it out together, and then we could meet
What
up
is
tomorrow. It came out earlier this year, and it's about a pandemic.
What?
Yeah, and like pandemic responders. What's he got up there? Anybody at home know what this David Wayne show is that I'm talking about? Yeah, Stella, exactly.
If our booking agent, Mike Morey, is watching, which he should be, this is your job, dude.
Come on, Mike.
He booked Stella when we signed with him in 2004 or 5, and they were pretty much...
Medical Police.
Oh, Medical Police, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that is it.
Thank you. Who the fuck is MCT? Medical Police, I think, is the show.
Now,
So-
I don't always
I haven't
love
watched it.
Hubel. He's a little broad for my taste, but I'm willing to...
He can be
give him a
broad.
shot. There
He
it
can be
is,
broad.
There it is. Medical Police. Let's all watch it together
Should we
one
watch-
day. Now? Now? We're going to watch it now?
From a distance, I think Netflix. Can you see it? Can you guys see it? Here, I'll get you closer. Hold on. Let's watch the beginning of Medical Police.
Wait, now how is Warner Studios involved in a Netflix production?
I think Warner's probably funded the making of it. And Netflix.
Snapped it up.
Yeah. Wow.
Quite a start. What makes me most concerned is that seems like the biggest budget David Wayne might have ever had at his...
Except for the Renaissance Fair scenes and role models.
Those have to have cost $2,000, you're right.
That's a great movie, by the way. I recommend that film. I mean, great is...
Can you see me when you're looking at the screen?
Yeah.
And
Of course.
So.
You can see that you're in the
I
screen.
know, but I just didn't know if you knew.
You didn't know if I knew who that guy is?
No, I just didn't know if you... I thought you might think this was just a screensaver
Yeah.
of yours.
Right. Well,
Would
no.
make sense that it would be video of the two of us together.
I mean, because that is what my screensaver is. In this case, I knew exactly what was going on. Wait, David Wayne did... What else has he done? He did 10 Commandments, which I can't recommend.
The 10, please. The
Yeah,
10.
The 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, in a weird upheaval of usual linguistic shortcuts, people in the know call it the 10 Commandments.
The 10 Commandments. Because the actual name of the movie is a nickname, you expand that nickname into its referent,
Yeah.
the 10 Commandments, when you talk about it as a fan, and actually even somebody who was kind of on set for a lot of it. David had us on set trying to help with some of the jokes. He actually took a lot of our ideas, and it sucks. We did a bad job.
Yeah, he
bad
simply
job.
but he interpolated them, so there was no way to really sue. They were not quite our jokes.
Yeah.
They were like nailed version of our jokes.
Exactly. So we all tried to sue each other after that movie came out, and it was a Mexican standoff in a New York City court, and we all just had lunch together and said, forget it. Let's make role models. And when Sean William Scott signed on, now there's a performer that has not gotten his due, I think. Obviously, we all used to recognize that Sean William Scott was a great. He had a moment where it seemed like he might become the next Jim Carrey.
Are you talking about what's the tennis movie? Gary the tennis coach.
Balls Out.
Is that the moment you think the world
Excuse me?
recognized him?
The film is called Balls Out, Gary the Tennis Coach. One piece of punctuation there. Can you remember what it is? Can you remember? If you had to punctuate Balls Out, Gary the Tennis Coach
I'm
with
assuming
one piece of
assuming it's a
punctuation.
colon.
That's right.
Yeah, of course.
What? But maybe the comma after Gary.
Balls out, Gary the tennis coach. Oh, after Gary.
Balls
I
out,
thought-
Gary.
I thought you got...
Balls Out, Gary the Tennis Coach.
All right, we might be
Listen,
getting off track.
I
Anyway,
don't know if Balls Out, Gary the Tennis Coach is
none
still
of those.
streaming.
None of those might be keywords to find it at this point, though. It's probably called something. It's probably called like
Sean William
hell of
Scott.
a racket.
Yeah.
He had going on or something.
That heck of a racket was definitely what it was called in Canada when it came out there. The Sean William Scott movie about tennis is good, and his hockey movie Goon is also great, and Goon 2 is very good too. It's Goon. I think it's just called Goon 2. Those are great movies. But there was a moment when it seemed like Sean William Scott could really be.
Are you still talking about Gary the tennis coach era?
Well, I guess I'm talking about American Pie era.
Dude,
and then
Where's My Car?
into role models.
You always enjoyed what's the Rock movie?
Oh, The Runaround. Holy shit, you guys. For those of you at home who haven't seen The Runaround, starring the most bankable, at least guy in Hollywood.
And The Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Sean William Scott and The Rock. The Runaround is amazing. Who directed that again?
I don't know.
It's somebody. It's somebody cool. It's like it's
David
the guy who
Bowie.
did Friday Night Lights, right?
Peter Berg?
Yeah.
No.
Can somebody at home confirm that
No
Peter
way.
Berg did the Runaround?
No way.
Can somebody beat Keith to this as he goes to the
What's it
internet
called?
over
The
here?
Runaround?
The Runaround. Yeah. Anybody home know? Oh wait, I'm not keeping up with texts. It's Berg.
Nathan Goach, it says.
Karn says it's Berg.
Karn is on here?
Yeah, Karn's on. You're looking at the 1946 one.
That says 2004.
That's correct. It's not Nathan Goach. Who is it?
I don't know.
Come on.
I will admit.
That's not the
I
movie.
will admit
That's not the movie.
that's not
Karn
the
says
movie.
it's. So we've got Karn on here. Yeah. Karn is correct. It's Berg.
Karn, will you recommend King of New York to people?
Oh, yeah.
Can you possibly?
Keith Karn was just speaking to us earlier today about King of New York, which neither one of us has
But
seen.
he was recommending that to us.
Yeah, so
he
let's
knows
see
we're
if
garbage
he-
disposals.
Oh, is King of New York McTiernan?
No.
That's what Karn just tweeted.
Karn's losing his mind.
Yeah. Karn says it's McTiernan.
Look, I don't think it's Berg or McTiernan.
Not Runaround is Berg.
No, it's not.
We've already established that.
Based on Karn, who also claims it's McTiernan. There's no way that's McTiernan.
So Karn is saying that King of New York is McTiernan.
What?
Oh, wait, no. It's a difficult way to communicate with somebody here. He says no. He was joking about the Runaround. Okay. So who did the Runaround? That's not it. That's not
I
the poster for
know,
the
I know, but I
Runaround.
just want an apology.
Can somebody
before
tell
I
me
continue.
who did the Runaround? It's a name director.
It's not. In like
Rundown.
Tide commercials.
Rundown. Yeah, Rundown by Berg.
No wonder I couldn't find it.
Sorry. The Rundown. Is that what it is?
The Rundown? That sounds wrong
Just
too.
just look up Dwayne The Rock Johnson
Dwayne A. Rock
and
Johnson.
Peter Berg. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. It's Peter Berg, right? Come on. Keith Karn, please. Abel Ferrara did King of New York. Okay.
Whoa,
Very cool.
he did.
Very
oh
cool.
God.
Yeah. So
That's right.
confirmation. Peter Berg
That's right.
did the Rundown.
Wait, no, I'm okay
Abel
with
Ferrara.
Abel Ferrara. Yeah.
But the Rundown, I think.
Nobody knows who did the Rundown, Chris. It's shut down, and there's no way to
Oh,
find
you can't
out who did
find it on the internet.
I
The
am-
internet is suddenly off limits in New York.
IMDb just plays the Curious Creations of Christine Quarry, whatever her name is, when you try to look it up.
This is absurd.
The
The press is gonna have a field day.
Dwayne Johnson, I looked up, is listed as miscellaneous crew. This is a mess.
He's looked up the wrong Dwayne Johnson.
That might be the right one. He was just miscellaneous crew on something.
He was right alongside Sean William Scott.
Look, he's listed as miscellaneous crew on Too Fast, Too Furious. That can't be a coincidence.
Well, he probably had that credit
can't
as
be
well.
A coincidence.
He probably did miscellaneous crew work.
Do you think, as a producer of the later series, he got retroactive,
Yes.
like grip credit?
Yeah, they went back and gave him those credits so he could vote in the Oscars.
That's hot.
Because he didn't have enough credit. He didn't have enough, screen credits.
Chris, would you say our viewership is ballooning right now?
Miss Ashley Jean says Peter Berg did do the rundown, Keith. Great work on the computer over there. By the way, everybody, you might imagine he's using some arcane application, like he's typing words
There are
in
a lot of very specific commands. I'm putting in.
green letters into a black backdrop. No, he's using Google, and he still hasn't figured out who
Well, the
directed the
problem is
rundown.
I'm using Tim Wheeler's
I
stupid
accept-
rollerball thing.
This is a fair point. Can we pause for 1 second to?
You guys-
Oh no!
There you go.
These because
the
this
worst product ever devised.
This is Tim Wheeler's
It's a
mouse of choice.
It's essentially a cat toy.
This is a mouse. I mean, it's got a lot of options on it, but there's a reason that we've all ended up with either touch pads or 2-button scroll toys. This thing is a nightmare. And Tim Wheeler, if you're watching this, shame on you,
Fuck
sir.
you.
Shame on
Fuck you.
So I guess King of New York should be our last recommendation for
Let's put
today.
a pin in it. Yeah.
Neither of us
Watch
have
all
seen
of
it.
these tonight.
Yeah.
Neither of us have seen King of New York.
Neither of us seen King of New York, but we're going to go home and watch it tonight. Keith Karn was recommending it to us earlier today. We just learned that Abel Ferrar directed it.
So, unimpeachable. If you like the Driller Killer, you'll love King of New York.
I did like the Driller Killer. I thought it was the title, and that was the production company that put that title on there.
Yeah, it's a Yates biography.
Yeah, there's no way that Abel Ferrar wanted the Driller Killer for the
fought
title. It's such a
Nearly to the death.
It's a lyrical film. It's a
Quiet. It's a quiet
It's
little
a
number.
quiet film. It's the dialogue is always so balanced that you feel yourself being carried along as though you're a fairy on a pea pod going down a little creek.
What an apt.
And so you're going to call this movie The Driller Killer? Shame on you, Paramount Pictures or whoever did it.
It was a different time.
I guess.
A different time.
God, a cynical time. A cynical time. Anyway, we'll meet you guys back here tomorrow. Bring your suggestions, please.
We're desperate. I know
Yeah.
we said we're experts on this, but we're fucking desperate.
We're running low. In the meantime, stay safe. Stay safe. What is the official? How are you supposed to? How are you supposed
Creep
to wish?
low,
How do you
gang.
wish each other?
Creep low.
Creep low? Is that? I don't know if that really.
I heard. It's a viral draft.
Does the
Lips above
coronavirus?
you.
Is it like smoke? Like it stays
it's like
high?
A heat, it's a heat scenario.
It stays
Well,
high?
If you just think about the idea that when as air heats, it rises. So one should imagine that airborne disease will also be on the up.
Right. Right.
So stay low. Just always stay
because
low.
the air is going to carry it.
It's always wafting. It's
But
always
but
wafting.
but now because I don't want us to spread any false science. I've heard it's the droplets that we're worried about.
So if
And
you're down on the
those
ground-
are going to be heavier than air. I
Yeah.
think those are going to be heavier than air. We're gonna not weigh
We're
in.
dead.
Well, we don't want to start an alarm here. Let's just say that we're neither recommending, gathering on the ceiling nor crawling upon the ground as a means of avoiding contagion.
Keep it even keel.
Either seems fine. If that's... And I don't think there's anything to recommend against either one of them. All right, we're still working on our... We still got to figure out a good coronavirus era sign-off. We'll try to work on that. If anybody has suggestions tomorrow, please bring those to us.
Yeah, we've got a lot of drum beats to re-record while Karn's at home.
Hey, Karn, if you're still watching this, we gotta re-record your drums.
Should have left your drum set up, dumbass.
He left his drums set up. Fortunately, we don't know how to play drums very well, so I can hit one of them at a time, and
There's
you
two
can
of
hit 2 at 3.
Even the best drummer can only hit like 4 at a time.
Is that true?
So if there are 2 of us, we're like a middle tier drummer.
Yeah. Suddenly, you've got regional touring drummer on your hands.
Yeah, the drummer of Candlebox.
Camelbox? Did you say?
Candlebox. Is
Good.
that their name?
Yeah, that's
Is
a
it Camelbox?
I thought you said Camelbox. By the way,
I'm
Candlebox
gonna
was
look it up.
Candlebox was a national band. Camelbox, yes, was
A regional.
Was a regional-
regional success.
They were like Tennessee, Mississippi area, great band. I mean, but the drummer could only hit 4 drums at a time, and that
no,
was.
those are the good ones.
I mean, those are the good regional drummers. The real bad boys like Keith Karn,
He's doing what now?
they're hitting shit. I mean, it's.
Once?
Listen, am I going to explain theory of relativity to you right now at the same time as I tell you how Keith Karn hits 5, 6, 7 drums?
Should we zoom into his drum tracks right now?
Do you guys want to take a look at his drum tracks?
Just how many he's
They're sick.
hitting at a time?
Okay, I'm going to reverse the camera.
Jesus, how good is this guy?
Hold on, I'm going to take it off the tripod. I want these people to see it up close.
No.
Okay, all right, so
Oh,
wait.
God.
What are we about to see?
How many is he hitting? No, this can't be. It's like all the worst parts of the Bible. No. It doesn't sound like he's hitting that many. to be
It's
honest.
audibly just a kick and a snare.
Well, it looks a lot weirder.
It looks magnificent. And for a lot of musicians today in this digital era, it's about painting these incredible artworks. Can you show us the whole thing? Can we see the whole thing?
Oh, you know the shortcut?
I don't. I made it move. How do we...
You sure did, brother.
Look at this. God, look at that. It's not that pretty yet, and that's why we're not releasing it. Once that thing is as...
Sort of crap that like begins a Safdie Brothers film.
Yeah.
That kind of scroll.
But once that screen looks like a...
And he looks like something.
Just something.
Yeah.
Right now, it just looks like a bunch of shit. Once it looks like something, that's when we release it, and you'd be surprised at how closely the beauty of that screen will correlate with the incredible sound of the finished product. That's a little secret that professional musicians are guarding pretty closely. And
It's a visual art.
yeah,
It's largely a visual
it's
art.
mainly it is. Is it fair to say it's entirely? Not, not for the appreciator.
Because the music is visually based, and then it's always got to come with cover art.
Cover art.
So that's all of it.
That's right.
Maybe a
And
music video.
and I think you're forgetting one thing. Couple of handsome motherfuckers.
That lizard face piece of shit.
Couple handsome motherfuckers to play it for you
Yeah, I guess so.
in your local airplane hangar. Guys, shelter in place, but enjoyably. We will talk to you
Watching Tim
tomorrow.
Robinson.
Yeah, watch all the things we recommended.
Everything.
And
Until
we'll-
tomorrow.
Yeah. Watch it until we log back on. This has been a pleasure. I'm going to try to push through. Oh,
Come on.
there is. Yeah. End it.
All